Hey there, y'all. I'm Simber with Homesteading at Kooker, and today we are about to do another beehive relocation. This time we are looking at a hive that established in a hot tub. Oh, make that 15 stings. I found another one on my right leg at my knee. It is morning the next day, and as you can see, there are some bees that have escaped. I knew there were a few that were out, but not quite that many. I'm not completely sure how they're getting out. I put the windows down a crack so that there would be air circulation in there for the bees so it wouldn't get too hot. But I probably will wait a little bit before opening that because I'm not garbed up at all. Not that they necessarily would be, in a stinging mood, but yeah, I just want to be careful. So I do have some swelling this morning. Not too bad considering how many stings I got. Sustained 15 bad stings and no telling how many other small stings. But for the most part, it's looking pretty good, and all I've used is vitamin C, some children's Benadryl, and plantain yarrow salve. So tell you what, y'all, that salve is like a miracle. It's awesome stuff. Anywho, we will be working on getting the bees out to the bee yard, but I have to be careful because with this many stings, usually it's the second day or the day after the sting that I have the most reaction, kind of feel weak and woozy. Right now I feel okay, but I also know if I push myself too hard, then it can go downhill pretty fast. So I just have to be careful, and Justin and Malachi and Gwen are all going to watch out for me. So pretty much right after I stopped that previous clip, I realized that since I left 2 windows cracked, the bulk of them may not actually be the bees that we brought back. They may be honeybees that we have here that smelled the honey and decided to come and investigate. Oh well. So my assessment of those weren't our bees because they didn't have a way to get out. Well, the bees we brought back yesterday. Justin reminded me that I forgot to instruct to have that hole closed, so that's where they were getting in and out. Fun times. But at least it was today and not while I was driving home last night.
Amen.
Early this morning. Did you say amen?
Yes.
All right. So, because of the nature of these boxes, Justin, if you can show, these boxes don't actually fit the Langstroth, and I didn't realize that until after Justin had already painted the boxes, and Justin and I both did frames and put them in because we had to buy more frames on Amazon and assemble them. So we had to get creative, and I just put some cardboard underneath to be able to seal it off because the width was wider than what the bottom board is for the Langstroth hive. I had to do something to be able to keep the bees in. And that's interesting because suddenly there's honey dripping. So I wonder if they're smelling the smoke already and they've started opening some honey to start eating. So because we have to take that cardboard off, what we're going to have to do is untape this and then take the top box off, then turn the somehow access the bottom box to be able to rip off that cardboard and then put it on those cinder blocks. Fun times. Alrighty, so we were able to pull the cardboard off in bits. Honey just started pouring out. So apparently there was a comb that got knocked loose or something, and it was just leaking honey, like literally honey dumped and poured on the ground, which I don't prefer because that's going to be an attractant to ants, but hopefully the bees will eat it up fairly quickly so that the ants don't really have a chance to get to it. And as you can see, the cardboard is coated with honey. It's literally just pooling on there. And then we also have 2 pieces of honeycomb that were on top of some of the frames, so we'll just take that to the house and eat that. Yum! See, there are rewards for all this silly work. We did not try to pull out the staples, so the hive may be a teensy bit wobbly, but honestly that hive has some issues with it anyway. I think the bees will be able to propolis it and make it a stable and secure structure on their own. Now, we do not have a top to put on this. I mean, we could technically put one of those, but it doesn't fit. So Justin is looking right now for a board, and actually if we just put a flat board on top, I'm not as worried about air circulation because they have that little hole there. Sorry, bee was at my finger. At that little hole there, so if they wanted to, they could just leave that open for extra ventilation, which is usually the purpose of this kind of liner board. I can't remember what it's called offhand. That board that has a hole in it, because normally it allows extra ventilation up top of the hive. But we're going to pull that board off and save it for a future swarm catch, and then they'll be able to have just, for now, plywood on top as a roof to keep the rain out. And like I said, they've got that little hole that they can keep as ventilation or for another exit in and out. Now, one thing I do need to do is I want to reduce this entrance. I mean, there's plenty of bees. They should be a strong enough hive, but because it's so close to the other beehive, I just would rather them be coming out of this side of the hive, unless it's that little hole, just so that they're hopefully not as dominating and don't take over this smaller, weaker swarm hive that only recently, within the past week or so, started having eggs being laid again. Who knows, I may have caused problems for this smaller hive, the swarm hive, having this other hive so close. I've seen a lot of beekeepers will keep their hives relatively close, although maybe not as close as this. But this was the best area that we had back here for evening shade, and I really didn't want to go under a mesquite tree. I thought about it, Justin and I debated it, but there's really not deep shade there. Plus, I don't want to be working around the bees around all the mesquite thorns. So I'd rather just leave that tree close by for them to be able to get mesquite blooms, and then try to concentrate the bee yard around this area. Now, if we get more hives, which we'll probably wait a little while before diving into that, but you never know with me, we'll have to figure out another place to put them. But for now, this is our bee yard. Super excited, hope it all works out. Oh, that breeze feels good. I was kneeling down near the ground and there's no breeze down there. The smoker has already gone out. That's a technique I'm really gonna have to study up on. But we need to put these bees, which I actually forgot about, but just remembered, into the hive, as well as the ones that are still in the bee vac. And then we'll put that piece of plywood on that I was talking about. All right, here we go. So we're gonna pound it on the ground to kind of knock the girls down, and then we'll try to do a fairly quick maneuver. Okay, maybe we need to take that wing nut off. Take that whole piece of metal flashing off. And I'll just leave them here so they can find their way. Whew.
To the hive.
Yep, to the hive. Thank you for finishing that sentence for me. Not so many in here, but still, probably a couple hundred. I guess they like that board. Okay.
Uh-huh.
All right, girls. They're going to have to scooch. Yeah, I think that's going to work well. At least temporarily. We'll need to get something that's either got a metal top like these aluminum flashing tops, or at least at minimum something that's painted, but that'll help keep the rain out of the hive. And I may actually do 2 rocks on this one just for added security, and then bring another one out here for this one. Okay, so that's what we've got today. Thank you for joining us. If you didn't have a chance to look at the video where we rescued these bees from a hot tub, please be sure to check above for that, for the cards, and then come join us again next time as we continue in this foray of homesteading and now, since April, beekeeping here at Kooker Gehoofd. God bless.
Thanks for watching the video. Push the thumbs up to like the video. Also hit that subscribe button, also the bell, so that you can get notifications when our videos come out.
Check us out on our social media pages too. The links are below. Bye, y'all.
Bye.